Hi, Steven.
Hello，你好，
你好，你好。
大家好。Is it time yet for me to
Yeah,
present?
it's time for you. It's
Oh,
your
okay,
turn. Thank you, thank you.
okay. So there are 13 students. Is there a name list for the students so that I can call on them for questions or?
Yes, we have a name list, but they are all Chinese name.
Oh,
But I
okay.
type the number in front of their Chinese name, so maybe you can call the number, and I'll help
Okay.
you call their Chinese name.
Okay. Okay. So can I have some students introduce themselves, their name, and like something they like to do, their passion? Well,
Okay. So their hobbies and their English
hobbies
name.
in their English name, if they have an English name.
Okay, maybe I'll call all of them to tell you their
Okay.
English name because
Of
I
course.
don't know their English name either.
Oh, okay. Of course.
丽婷，你可以先介绍你的英文名字跟你的 hobbies 吗？或是 anything else you want to share？
Uh, Hi, my name is Emma, and I like to play the piano in my free time.
Wow. Okay.
逸璇 your English name please and your hobbies.
Hi, I'm Anna, and I like to play sports and watch movies.
玉琴
Hi, my name is Sophie.
Sophie
I like to play the piano and the violin.
邵如
My name is Mika, and I'm an 8th grader, and I like to play soccer.
玉成
My name is John. I like to play badminton.
炳庸 炳庸瑞宁
My name is Renee. I like to read.
OK 嘉悦
My name is Naomi, and I like to play the piano.
辛哲
Hi, my name is Jaden. I like to read and I love soccer.
The last one 炳庸 Maybe you can type your name, okay? 炳庸 If your mic is broken, maybe you can type your name on the chat, okay? Okay, Steven, I think we got all the names on the chat.
Okay. Thank you. So let me share my screen. Oh, oops. Okay. So, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So today I'll be presenting American universities, and a quote I included here is, "Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime." And what this means is that education is very important and can get you places in life. So, university, it's a noun, which means it is a place. A university is an institution where students study for degrees and where academic research is done. So, entrance exams. So, before students are able to get to the universities, they must complete one of the two entrance exams. So, before I go on, is there any entrance exams to attend Taiwanese universities? Anyone? Do you guys know if the name of the exam, if there's a requirement? Anyone? Emma? Emma, do you know if there's a requirement?
No.
No? Okay. Well, in America, you before COVID, it was mandatory to take entrance exams. But due to COVID, it actually has become optional to take entrance exams because many of the testing sites began closing and students did not have the opportunities to take the exams. So the exams which students had the choice to take were between the SAT and ACT. And if you are an international student, you must take the TOEFL, which this is actually still required to attend an American university. But these two, the SAT and ACT, are optional due to COVID. So first, I will be presenting private universities. And a private university, what it is a university which is not funded by the government. So that means that they receive their money to do research and pay their professors for all the money they receive is either from a private organization, private donors, or is from a religion in which they are affiliated with. So here I am showing first the 4 of the 8 Ivy League universities. UPenn University, or also known as University of Pennsylvania, Brown University, Cornell University, and Yale University. So it is very prestigious and it is very hard to get into these universities. As you can tell by the acceptance rate being 9% for freshmen, for UPenn, Brown University, 8%, Cornell, 11%, Yale, 6%. And here you can see the transfer rates are also very low. I'll get into it later what transfer is, but the GPA requirements are also very high, usually ranging the average GPAs in which students are accepted are from a 3.9 on the 4.0 scale GPA. So that means many of the students do get a lot of A's and rarely any C's, little to no C's and little to no B's. So it is very competitive to attend these universities. And here are the other 4 of the 8 universities, Princeton University, Harvard University, and Columbia University, and Dartmouth. Are any of you familiar with the Ivy League universities? Harvard University, Princeton University?
Yeah, I heard of Harvard.
Oh. Some of these universities are famous from movies. Like I don't know if any of you have seen the movie Legally Blonde. Legally Blonde, the girl, she goes to Harvard University, to Harvard Law School. So if you guys know about that, maybe it's from that movie. But as you can tell, these are also very, very hard to get into. The acceptance rates are very low and students do get very high GPAs. And as you can tell, it's optional to submit an entrance exam to the Ivy Leagues. So you have the choice to apply with just your GPA and extracurriculars and essays, or your extracurriculars, GPA, and essays with your entrance exam.
I think our student have a question about what does GPA means. Yeah,
GPA.
you type in the chat. What does GPA mean?
So GPA, it means grade point average. So how that works is that a GPA is calculated. You get a certain amount of points based on if you get an A, B, C, D, or F. So an A has the highest amount of points. That means 4. And the way you calculate that is that you multiply the number, you add up the numbers. So let's say a student is taking 4 classes. So let me do the calculations. 4 classes, and they have 3 Bs, so that means 4 times 3. 4 A's, so 4 times 3. A is a 4, and then a B is a 3, I believe.
Okay.
So then plus 3. And then you divide it by the amount of classes they have, so it's 4. So that means that student has a 3.7 GPA if they have 1 B, and the rest are A's. So if a student has a 4.0 GPA, that means they have all A's, 100% A's. And the 3.9 GPA usually means that the student received like about 1 B, which is very hard because, again, as I say, it's very, very hard to get into these universities. It's very competitive. And what some of you may wonder what extracurriculars are. Extracurriculars are things you do outside the classroom or sometimes even within your school, like clubs. There's clubs. There's a lot of people do volunteer. They volunteer at their church. They volunteer at parks. They volunteer with organizations. And there's even students that start their own organizations. I do know somebody who is currently at Yale, and I believe one of the reasons that she got into Yale was because she started a very known organization. It's very known in the United States now. So it's very competitive. And the way that these schools select students is based on difference. So they want students who are different. They want students who stand out, not someone who's like very general and not different, of course. So here are some fun facts about the Ivy Leagues. So did you know? Harvard University has an entire program dedicated to hip hop music. So besides their basic education like science, technology, science, math, and English, which are their basic requirements, they also have the choice to take the rest of their classes based on hip hop music. And out of the 8 Ivy League institutions, 7 of them were established when America was still a collection of colonies. So that means most of the Ivy League universities are older than America itself. And for about 50 years, organic chemistry students at Cornell host a band performance in the library before exams. So here are some other private universities which are very prestigious. Stanford University, University of Southern California. I do live by this university, and Occidental College. I do live by these two. These are located in Los Angeles, and Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT. So each university does have separate requirements. For example, USC is mostly humanities. So usually students will take classes like English, and they do take math because math is a basic requirement in American high schools, but most of their classes do consist of English and history. Same thing for Stanford, and same thing for Occidental College. Whereas schools such as MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, because it is based on science and math, they do want students to take a lot of courses like computer science, coding, all those types of classes. And just like the Ivy Leagues, it is very, very hard to get into these universities. They are very competitive. And here are the religious affiliated universities. A lot of the religious affiliated universities in America are affiliated with the Catholic Church. Like these 3 of the 4 universities, University of Notre Dame, Loyola Marymount University, and Boston College, they are Catholic universities, but you do not have to be Catholic to attend. There are many people who are of different religions who do attend these universities. And there are a handful of universities that are not just affiliated with the Catholic religion, such as Soka University of America. Soka University of America was founded by Buddhist beliefs by, I believe, Soka Gakkai. And they base a lot of their education on Buddhism. And there's a lot of other Buddhist universities, such as University of the West here in California. And they're still very, very hard to get into. A general requirement for many universities is to have a very good GPA, because if students are not doing the best in classes, they're not going to want to have students fail at their university. So public universities. Public universities are universities that are funded by the government. So they get their money from the government to do research and just get money for their classes and everything. So first, excuse me, I have the 4 of the 9 UCs, UCLA, UC Berkeley, UC, excuse me, UC Irvine, and UC San Diego. And the way that the UC system works is that to apply, there's one application in which you submit to all 9 universities. These universities are very prestigious. In order to apply, you must have a GPA of 3.0 and above. Most UCs do not look at your application at all if your GPA does not meet a 3.0. So if they see that your GPA is lower than a 3.0, they just throw out your application and they do not take the time to look at it, which is harsh, but it's the truth. And as you can tell, there is no option at all to submit an entrance exam to the UCs. That is because, not just because COVID shutting down a lot of the testing sites within America, but also because the president of the University of California realized that a test score should not determine the rest of your life and what your career should be. Because there are students who do very well in their classes. They're able to do the work. They're able to pass the tests. But when it comes to like state exams and time tests, they're not the best. And that they believe that your 4 years of university and participation within your community should determine who you are rather than a test in which you take within one day. So just like the UC system, there is a other system called the California State University system. The requirements are lower. As you can tell that the acceptance rates are fairly higher. It's much easier to get into these universities, but you still can get rejected. And just like the UC systems, there's no choice to submit a entrance exam for the same reasons. And these are fairly good universities as well, and they're much cheaper. And here are some other universities in which they're independent throughout different states. There's different systems within each state because each state is, in a way, independent. So like University of Washington, no entrance exams, no option to submit entrance exams. And University of Michigan, you can submit an entrance exam. The University of Northern Carolina, Chapel Hill, optional. Arizona State University, optional. So as you can tell, state universities, the prestige and the rigor, how hard it is to get into the universities, vary because that's just because it's the location and the amount of students that apply. And here are community colleges. So community colleges are fairly completely different than they are colleges, of course, but they're different than the previous universities in which I presented. They're not 4 years, you go for 2 years. I myself am a community college student. So as you can tell, there's no requirements at all to attend a community college. The acceptance rates for transfer and freshmen are 100%. And many of these students go to the college. They learn the same things as students in 4 universities. They go for 2 years. And after they're done with their 2 years, they apply for transfer to a 4-year university, and they don't complete an extra 4 years. They actually do their last 2 years in the 4-year university, and they graduate with their degree from that university. So they would be considered the same as every other student at the university in which they transferred to. So here's a glimpse at college life. So there are many students in which they live on campus within the dormitories or off campus if they live nearby. College in the US is more than just taking classes. Most of the work university students do will actually be outside of the classroom, such as working on assignments, group study, or research. Sometimes the amount of time a student devotes to university work will be more than 40 hours a week. Club activities are very prevalent in American universities. Many clubs can range from yoga club, dance club, and K-pop club to social justice and debate clubs. Throughout the campuses, you will see students asking you to sign petitions for awareness or something like saving the trees or cleaning the oceans. There are also times when there are students with signs who want to raise awareness of an issue within the campus or the area surrounding. So if you were to visit a university, like I visited universities before COVID, the campus life was very vivid. You would see students trying to get you to join their clubs. They're giving you papers. They're giving you different things to get you to join the club. Sometimes they even provide you food to persuade you to join the club. Or there's even students who protest. There's a lot of protests within American universities, but due to COVID, a lot of this has decreased. So if you were to now go to a American university, you wouldn't see as many students on the campus trying to persuade you to join their clubs, or a lot of protests, because the universities are trying to prevent the spread of COVID. So more college life. So there is this thing called Greek life, which is very prevalent within all American universities. It's these like organizations within universities. So there's two different types. There's fraternities, which are organizations of male students where a commitment to a brotherhood is made, and there's sororities, which are organizations of female students where a commitment to a sisterhood is made. And many times, excuse me, many times these students live together within a house on a campus that serves as their dormitory. There are 123 fraternities and sororities with 9 million members total across the country. So that means there's 123 universities, different types, and they each have a house within every university in America. And together they make up 9 million members. And a fun fact about Greek life is that the first female astronaut was a part of Greek life, and many American politicians were members of a fraternity or sorority when they attended university. So why community college? So in America, there's a stigma that community college is not good, that community college is made for students that lack academic intelligence, because community colleges do not have a need for GPA or entrance exams, which is the complete opposite, I believe. And if anything, there's probably more benefits to attending a four-year university attending a two-year community college than there is going into a four-year right away. So some of them are finances. So most community colleges are affordable. So having students pay little to nothing, $0, being a benefit for many low-income students. Community colleges also give you money to assist you in buying school supplies, and more based on income. So it's like they're paying you to go to the college. And inclusivity. Unlike many prestigious four-year universities, community colleges accept students no matter what. You can have an outstanding academic background or no academic background at all. You will be welcome at a community college. There's flexibility. And for flexibility, there are classes that can fit your schedule. You can work a 9-to-5 job while getting your degree for transfer. And there's more support. And for support, there are many opportunities for students to reach out and get help at a community college. The counselors can help you if you have problems with your work study schedule, or you have many opportunities for tutoring for various subjects. And previously, you saw the transfer acceptance rate. So basically what that is that, so let me get to what you can do with the community college first, is you can transfer to a four-year university and graduate with a degree from that university for less than half the price. So basically what transferring is that like the student attends the 2-year college and then they transfer and graduate with the degree from the four-year university. So your degree will have the name of the four-year university. For example, I myself would like to transfer to UCLA or UC Berkeley. And when I graduate, I will be like every other student. My degree will say UCLA or UC Berkeley, and I'm not treated any different. And I still have the chance to attend that college. So here are some random facts about American universities. So nearly 60% of all American colleges, of American college students are female. So there's more females in American universities overall than there are males. And there are about 5,000, if not more, colleges in America. And number 3, something fun that the colleges like to do is that they like to invite celebrities to give a speech at graduations. So it will be like a celebrity who attended the
Stephen, your mic. We can't hear you.
Oh, was I talking the whole time? Were you able to hear me?
No, just few minutes. Just few minutes.
Oh, okay. How long was I muted so I can know where?
One or two. One or.
Oh my goodness, my bad. Can you tell me which slide I was?
The females in the college, more female in the college.
Oh, okay, this one. Okay.
Part. Yeah. Celebrities okay. Part. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so there are actually more females in American colleges than there are males, which is good because that proves that women are capable of doing anything that men are. And there are 5,000 plus colleges in America. So there's a lot of colleges in America, one in every single state. And number 3, many celebrities give speeches at commencement. So this is something fun that the colleges like to do, that they either invite a celebrity who formerly graduated from that university, or they just invite a celebrity just because to have a speech and to inspire the students. So like, for example, here's a picture of Kermit the Frog that they are a university previously invited Kermit the Frog in the 90s to give a speech to the students, which is something fun. Okay, so do you guys have any questions, comments, concerns? Would any of you like to attend a American university one day?
Well, is it expensive or something?
I believe as an international student, it would be much more pricey, but you do have chances to receive scholarships in which they will either pay for the school or organizations will pay for half of your tuition or all of your tuition, or sometimes they will cover your living expenses. I hope that answers your question. So like, for example, so many students do receive financial aid, and what financial aid is either assistance from the school or assistance from the government based on your income. So usually people with low income don't pay as much as people who have a high income. So let's say you're a very rich person wants to attend a Harvard or Yale. Harvard or Yale, without financial aid, and usually a rich person would have to pay 300,000 US dollars because they do not need any assistance because they get a lot of money, they make a lot of money. Whereas a student who is low income they're poor, I guess. They do get a lot of assistance. They get a lot of their fees paid for, and many times if you prove to the university that your academics are outstanding, they will pay for your books, or they will pay for your studies. Any more questions?
I think it's time.
Oh, it's time? Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, thank you. So bye-bye.